rich mill hated me for being poor. She played a prank calling me the housemate at her party and posted it online to embarrass me. But what my husband did next shut her up. Hi everyone, I'll be referring to my husband as Harry and my mother-in-law as Olivia. I, 28, female, have been married to Harry for about 2 years. Harry, also 28, and I were friends in college, and that's how we know each other. We didn't start dating until after we graduated. We ran into each other at a common friends party a few years ago and have been together ever since, for almost 4 years, including the time that we have been married. Harry and I love each other, and I don't have any regrets about marrying him, but the only thing that I can't stand is his mother. Olivia was a single mother and raised Harry all on her own, and that's great, but she is really arrogant and cold, which is what makes it very difficult for me to like her as a person. She made it clear from the very first day that she didn't approve of me, and I think it has a lot to do with my financial background. I don't come from a rich family, and my parents had to really work hard to provide for me and my 3 sisters. We were quite poor growing up. My dad used to be a janitor, and my mother had to take up several odd jobs to be able to support us. I'm honestly not ashamed of it, and I'm actually quite proud of where I come from, as are all my siblings. Let me just put it out there that we never looked at our parents' jobs as something to be ashamed of or to be embarrassed by. They were honest, hardworking people, and we always have been, still are, and will continue to be extremely proud of them for raising us to be good people, just like them. Olivia, however, is quite classist and instantly made a face when I revealed to her that my dad used to be a janitor, and my mom would run errands for those who could afford it. That was back when we had dinner with her for the first time, and ever since then, she made it pretty clear to me that I wasn't welcome in her family, and she would never accept me as one of her own. She didn't say anything to my face, but she would always keep her distance from me physically, like she couldn't touch me or something, whenever she would invite us for dinner and even use different silverware and plates for me, which were slightly less pretty than the ones she and her son used. I didn't bring it up because I thought I was overthinking things and I didn't want to make a big deal out of nothing. But then there were a lot of other things too, which forced me to come to terms with the fact that Olivia was classist. She would buy me cheap birthday presents, and I knew it because she left the price tag on. For context, Olivia ran her own business and could definitely afford to buy nice presents for people. And she did. She got Harry a very expensive watch one year and got her assistant an all-expenses paid trip to Bali for 3 days, the very same year. She gifted me a knockoff product bag, which didn't cost more than $85. After that, I realized that I wasn't imagining anything, and she most certainly didn't like me. The biggest mistake that I made was not talking to Harry about this back then. I didn't know how to talk to anyone about something so upsetting. I have been discriminated against before, but it was never by someone who I hope to have a relationship with in the future. I actually did admire Olivia before I saw this ugly side, since I want to have a business of my own someday as well. And when Harry told me about this mother, I was quite impressed. My sisters and I are all finance majors. We went to college thanks to student loans, and were able to score well enough to bag decent jobs. I work in marketing and advertising, but I really want to build something of my own, and I didn't want a bad relationship with my mother-in-law, which is why I didn't speak up about Olivia before Harry and I got married. I hoped that she would accept me eventually, but it didn't happen, and then it just became too awkward. I finally did speak up a few months after we got married and told Harry that I didn't feel comfortable visiting his mother because she made me feel inferior, and I had a feeling that it had something to do with my family and my dad's profession. He was quite understanding about it and told me that he would speak to his mother and try to clear the air between us. He did live up to it, but it didn't lead anywhere because after he spoke to Olivia,